So what is the server-side pre-rendering? It's easier to show you in action. So in this demo, we're going to work with this weather forecast page. Now back in VS Code, I'm going to go to Views, Home, and Index.cshtml. This attribute we have on the app element is used to enable server-side pre-rendering. Let's see what happens when we delete this attribute. So, delete. Save. Now back in the browser, I'm going to refresh this page. And then look at the page source. Look at what we get from the server. This is our index view rendered as HTML. So we have the app element and two script references. Note that in this page, there is nothing about our weather forecast. So all the content here, like this heading, as well as this table and all these numbers, are rendered dynamically on the client. This is how most Angular applications are built. And there is a problem with this implementation. The problem is when a search engine spider hits our website, this is what it's going to see. It's not going to see any of our dynamic content. Now, Google is apparently smart enough to execute the JavaScript code and look at the dynamic content as well. But many other search engine spiders out there are not able to see the dynamic content. And this means if we have special keywords or content on this page that is going to improve our ranking in Google or any other search engines, it's not going to see that content. In other words, we lose search engine optimization because none of our dynamic content is visible to that search engine spider. So Angular team have created a new module called Angular Universal to solve this problem. And with this module, Angular views can be rendered on the server. Let's see how that works. So back in VS Code, I'm going to bring back this attribute. Save. Back to this page. Refresh. Let's look at the source code. Okay, look. Now there's a lot more happening on this page. We have a bunch of styles. Below that, we have the markup to render our navigation bar. And below that, we have the content of our weather forecast page. So here's our heading, here's our table, and here are all the numbers. So with server-side pre-rendering, our views are rendered on the server and HTML markup is returned to the client. And this will ensure that all search engines can access our content. But there are more benefits to server-side pre-rendering. The second benefit is that it can improve the perceived performance of our application. In a lot of Angular applications, especially applications built with Angular 1, when you load the page, you see a loader icon or a loading text, and the page flickers until you see the actual content. This is because it takes a little bit of time until Angular renders the HTML markup on the client. That's why the page flickers. With server-side pre-rendering, when the user opens a page, HTML markup is returned to the client so the page doesn't flicker. And then control is moved to Angular. So Angular initializes that component and its template and renders it behind the scene. And this is invisible from the user. And finally, the third benefit of server-side pre-rendering is about sharing our application on social networks. In a lot of social networks like Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn, when you share a link, you see a preview image of that website. Without server-side pre-rendering, because the content is dynamically rendered, that social networking application cannot properly display a preview image of our application. So these are the benefits of server-side pre-rendering.